Year, the Air Force missed its recruiting goal for the first time in decades, according to the Air Force Times. In 2023, the active duty Air Force made about 90% of its goals for enlisted recruits, marking the first time since 1999 it did not reach its goal. The Air Force is not the only branch feeling this drop in numbers. The Department of Defense said in 2024 it's predicted to bring record lows in military recruitment across all branches. 2024 will be the smallest active duty force since 1940. While military numbers are down, participation in junior reserve officer training programs are rising. This nationwide program introduces high school students to the core values of the military. The Air Force Junior ROTC program in the Sioux City Community School District is just one program at risk of closing. As Katie Koppel reports, two Misty cadets say losing the program would be heartbreaking.
Joining the program for me meant I found a place, where I belonged.
Orders acknowledged.
I've learned a lot in the past 4 years, but I'd say the biggest things that I've learned is leadership.
The Siouxland Air Force Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps Misty Cadets have had a home within the Sioux City School District since 2015. Now that program and its 69 cadets are at risk of closing down if they don't find a new instructor.
This program going away is just very saddening, seeing that the potential that they have could pretty much go to waste.
The JROTC program, while created by the military, is not a recruitment tool.
It's a military program that is going to teach you the skills responsible for later in life. It teaches you leadership skills. It teaches you just personal development skills, and 21st century are soft skills.
A JROTC program is required to have 2 instructors. After a retirement last year, Sioux City's program currently has 1.
The program's main purpose is really just to kind of challenge students to be a better version of themselves. And that's what it's done for myself and the peers that are down here with me.
Misty cadets lean heavily on community service, serving as color guard for programs, community cleanups, and a 12-hour vigil on Veterans Day.
I'd hope the community would have a little hole where we would be.
Both cadets say the lessons they've learned through the JROTC will stay with them long past graduation, and they hope others will get the chance to.
As they go through this program, they kind of find their voice and they find the things that they're good at. And we really try to help everyone that comes into our program grow as a person.
This program has pushed and changed a lot of different people, and for it not to be here next year is just heartbreaking.
Reporting in Sioux City, Katie Koppel, KTIV News 4.
And as mentioned in the report, under rules set by the military, programs must have a minimum of 2 instructors. And the program's current instructor, this particular program, is set to retire at the end of the school year, meaning finding someone to lead the junior ROTC program there is critical. Now, KTIV did reach out to the Air Force's National Junior ROTC program about the need for instructors nationwide. In a statement, they said in part, quote, "Our instructors make a positive impact on tomorrow's leaders using their leadership skills, knowledge of military heritage, and work experience. Instructors help students explore aerospace science, plus values of teamwork and personal responsibility. Qualifications needed to be an instructor. Well, you must have a bachelor's degree. You can be a retired officer or a retired enlisted member. Air Force Reserve officers may also apply if they meet the criteria. And to see a full list of qualifications and more on the application process, all you have to do is visit this story right now on our website, ktiv.com.